Good morning. Today we are going to be taking care of some potatoes that I bought on sale that my husband and I will not eat fresh before they start to sprout. So I want to make sure that I do something with them so that they don't go to waste. So today we are going to can our potatoes. Welcome back to Harvest Moon Farm. My name is Mickey if you're new around here, and as I said, we're going to be canning some potatoes today. Now, the potatoes I have are russet, which are not generally recommended for canning because they're more of a potato to be baked or roasted so that they get fluffy. They can kind of fall apart when you can them. Now, I've canned russet potatoes before and they didn't hold their shape really well, but they didn't really fall apart and they worked fine for us. And since that's what I have, that's what I'm going to use. So I am going to peel them. That is how the canning was tested and how it's approved is for peeling them. I don't know that you would necessarily need to peel them as long as they're really clean, but I'm going to go ahead and peel them just to be on the safe side. And probably anything that I might use them for now, I would want them peeled anyway. So what I'm going to do is peel them. I'm going to gather all this up so I can throw the peel in the compost later. And then I'm just going to use a sharp knife and I'm going to cut them into pieces that are about 1 to 2 inches. You don't want them any bigger than that because when we can them, we want to make sure that the heat is getting all the way through the potato so that it's safe for us to eat later. I have 2 10-pound bags here and I'm not going to can all of them. I'm going to can one and then I'm going to save part of the other one because they're still good. So I want to save part of the others for baked potatoes or something like that over the next week or so. So I'm just going to get all of these peeled and cut up, and then we're going to give them a good rinse, and then we're going to parboil them.
So what I was trying to say here that I didn't get out very well in the original recording is that this is part of the Canuary series where people can up things that they have on hand or things that they've purchased in January. Lisa at Sutton's Days, I believe, started this, and so I am doing some videos with another group of channels, and we are all planning to can things in January as part of this really fun series.
There are lots and lots of channels who participate in this Canuary. I believe Lisa from Sutton's Days started this. I'm not sure she's the first one that I saw doing this, but if you look it up, look up the hashtag Canuary, you'll find all kinds of videos in January where people are canning up things that they have in their home. Okay, I am going to use my electric canner. All right, so over here I've got 2 pots of water heating up. We're going to bring both of them to a boil, and then I'm going to use this one, and we're going to parboil our potatoes for probably 10 minutes. If you just have small 1/2 inch to 1 inch pieces, it can be 2 minutes, but these are bigger, so we're going to do 10 minutes. And my canner holds 5 jars, so I'm going to fill 5 jars and get them in the canner, and then I'll see how many potatoes I have left. Well, I don't want to be too far ahead on the peeling and parboiling of the potatoes, since it is going to take a while for these to process through the canner. Okay, so our water is boiling. I'm going to go ahead and get some potatoes in here. Hopefully not burn myself while I do it. Whoops. Now we're going to let these come back up to a boil, and we're going to boil them for 10 minutes. And then our other pot of boiling water, we are just going to keep that water hot so we can fill our jars once we've got our potatoes in there. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. So I've turned the heat off, and I am going to use my little strainer spoon here to fill my jars. I don't think I boiled quite enough to fill my 5 jars, but I've got enough peeled, so go ahead and get these, and then I'm gonna turn my heat back on and get the rest of these potatoes boiling. That's probably enough. So let's see, that jar needs a little more. This jar's good. This jar's good. So to our potatoes, we're going to add about a teaspoon of salt. This little wooden spoon is about a 3/4-ish teaspoon, so I'm going to add 1 and a little more. And then we're going to fill these with boiling water. So that's what our other pot of water is. And you don't want to use the potato water because it is starchy from the potatoes, and you want fresh, clean water going onto these potatoes so that it will help hold the shape a little better. So we'll go ahead and top these. Ouchie. So I'm going to top off this pan of plain water, let it come to a boil. Our potatoes are boiling already, so we're going to go ahead and do our 10 minutes there. And these jars that are done, I'm going to take a wet paper towel and just make sure that there's nothing, no starch or potato pieces or anything on the edge. That might prevent them from getting a good seal. Alrighty, and then we are going to, of course, use our ForJars lids. So if you're interested, you can use my code MOON10 to get 10% off your order of canning lids. And I will also put that down in the description so that you can follow that link. Alright, then we're going to use our lid, our ring, we're going to put it, ouch, finger tight. And I'm going to go ahead and set these 3 jars in my canner, and these potatoes will be done and ready to go in here in just a few minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start peeling some more potatoes, but I'm not going to parboil them or put them in jars until they are ready to go into the canner. Alright, these last 2 jars now are going to go into the canner. Go. Alright, so we're going to can these for 40 minutes. And when they're done, we'll take them out and put them on a towel to cool. And while these are canning, I'm going to go ahead and peel up some more potatoes. Okay, so the potatoes just finished cooling off enough for the pressure to release. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of the canner so they can start cooling and I can get the next set in. And anytime you're canning, always make sure that you lift the lid away from you because there's always extra steam and it will burn you, so be very careful. Okay, so here we've got our first 5 quarts of potatoes, and because my jars aren't super hot now, well, they're pretty hot. I'm gonna top off this water in my canner, but I'm gonna dump some of the boiling water out. Okay, so I dumped part of that boiling water out and replaced it, filled it back up to my line with cold water because we want the water in our canner and our jars to be approximately the same temperature so that your jars do not crack. Because I would hate to lose them after all of that work of peeling. So I'm going to go ahead and get our other jars in. And we'll go ahead and get this batch started processing. So again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to say pressure can, and we're going to do 40 minutes. That's what we need for our quarts. And we'll get this started. Now when we're all done, we'll have 10 quarts of processed potatoes that we can put on our pantry shelves. Once this other batch processes, I'll go ahead and add them to this towel with the first 5. We're going to let them sit about 24 hours, make sure that they've completely sealed. Then we'll remove the rings. I'll go ahead and just clean up. I can see some of the water's got water stains on it. Then I'll mark them and take them down to my pantry, and then I'll have these potatoes to use whenever I need. As you guys know, I'm doing the pantry challenge for January and February, so if I run out of any of the fresh potatoes, which I did leave maybe 4 pounds of potatoes so that Joe and I can have baked potatoes, or if I just want to do something different with them, I'll have them here to use. And then if we run out and we want more potatoes, we'll have these that I've canned up that we can use through the end of February as part of the pantry challenge, so I don't have to go buy any. Now, having said that, if we have any left, these should be good for 12 to 18 months, assuming everything has sealed well and they stay sealed, all of that, you know, normal thing that you want to be checking. These will last for a year or a year and a half on the shelves. Now, they probably won't actually last that long because we'll eat them, but they could last that long if you needed them to. So that's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure that you go in and you search for #Canuary, and you'll find all kinds of videos where other people are doing the same sort of thing, canning things up in January to have on their pantry shelves. So be on the lookout for my next Canuary video, which will come out in a week. The next video that I will have uploaded is going to be week 1 of the pantry challenge, so you'll be able to see what I've done this first week of January and what kinds of things that we've eaten. And so I look forward to seeing everyone again on the next video, and I will see you guys later. Thanks.